Hi there, this is Datila, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Monday, October 21st, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about Monday Night Raw. Alright, so we have quite a few things to talk about. We did have some news earlier today. Samantha Irvin has officially exited WWE, according to PWI Insider, has confirmed with multiple sources within the company. The ring announcer Samantha Irvin has resigned from her position. Irvin quit the company. We are told WWE has been made aware earlier today. And WWE did wish her well tonight on Raw. And Lillian Garcia is back to ring announcing with the WWE. So, an interesting turn of events. Hearing Lillian Garcia ring announce tonight just totally brought me back to my childhood. She was a big, huge part of not only my childhood, but I'm sure of many people's childhoods growing up. So it was really nice to hear her again. She hasn't missed a beat, that's for sure. All right, so let's talk about this main event, this IC title match. It's Jey Uso versus Bron Breakker. And I think a lot of people kind of suspected the Bloodline was going to get involved in this, especially after what happened on SmackDown. Like, Jey Uso went over to SmackDown and he pretty much told the Bloodline he wasn't going to get involved and he didn't want any part of this, and he threatened Jacob Fatu, so that was going to factor into tonight's show. And that did happen. Jacob Fatu Samoan dropped Jey onto the announce table after he super kicked him, so this helped Bron Breakker regain the IC title. And not only that, but the Bloodline was over this main event. Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu arrived first with tickets in their hands, supposedly. They were there to help Jey. But the Tonga twins also appeared and stuff. So this main event was crazy. I did like this tease that we had between Bron Breakker and Jacob Fatu. That's a match I definitely would like to see, but I really did appreciate that tease. So, one of my favorite spots in this match was that top rope Frankensteiner to Jey Uso by Bron Breakker. And in the end, Bron Breakker was victorious. He regained the IC title after Adam Pearce took away the Goddess of Destiny, and after Jey had gotten hit with that Samoan drop and that super kick, he got a super spear by Bron Breakker, and that was pretty much the end of things for him. So Bron Breakker was victorious. I think that this is definitely going to lead with Jey going back to the Bloodline. So, we are building to Survivor Series War Games. So it's definitely going to be part of the reason why he goes back to them eventually. So, but I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. Is Jey Uso going to go back to SmackDown? Is he going to, finally go realign with the Bloodline? Or is he going to take a little bit more convincing? But I'm definitely curious to see what happens after this. All right. So, Monday Night Raw kicked off with Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed getting into a brawl, which is actually a nice change of pace, because normally the way it works is, you have an opening segment, it's top promo, sets up, it's rinse and repeat. So I actually really like the fact that it opened with the brawl. And this was crazy. Rollins and Bronson Reed have been going at it for a while, especially since Bronson Reed tried to take out Seth Rollins with all those tsunamis. Forgive me, my window's open. You guys can hear the alarm. So, security and Adam Pearce, managed to pull them apart, but that's not the end of things. We actually find out There's an Adam Pearce segment later. It's supposed to be an Adam Pearce interview, but it turns into a segment as he's getting interviewed. Like Bronson, Reed, and Seth Rollins attack. They attack each other, and security and ref quickly separate them. And then the third one is another segment featuring Adam Pearce. This is his first segment. And Rollins approaches him. And again, they get into another brawl. And we get a match officially made for Conjo. It's going to be Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed. So I think it's going to be an interesting match. Definitely, for sure. Okay. But what did you guys think of the Bronson Reed Seth Rollins segment? Let me know in the live chat or in the comment section down below. But like I said, I thought it was a really great way to open Monday Night Raw. And I really appreciate that we got like little multiple segments with them. All right, so we get a Damage Control interview, and they're interrupted by Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, and basically this sets up a match. This sets up a match between them, which I'll get into when I get there. We get a World Tag Team Championship #1 Contenders Tournament match. It's the New Day versus AOP. This was an okay match. The New Day managed to get the victory after R-Truth attacked The Miz. And he attacked Karrion Kross. But Wyatt Six appeared and they attacked the Final Testament. And Paul Ellering saved The Miz from Uncle Howdy. So I thought that was interesting here. So I wonder who the Wyatt Six is truly after. Are they after the Final Testament or are they after The Miz? Because it seems like I thought they were going to go after The Miz. And one of the things that I found interesting during this segment was Kofi Kingston was trying to go back to help R-Truth. But Xavier Woods was stopping him. So more of the heel Xavier Woods teasing. I honestly think that if they go on to lose this tournament, this tag team tournament that's taking place, I honestly think that's going to send Xavier Woods over the edge. And that's when he's finally going to turn heel. So we get a Jey Uso interview. And he's just basically talking about how he doesn't have any brotherly love, since they're in Philly, and Philly's the city of brotherly love. And that at the end, he's still going to be your IC champion, main event Jey Uso, which I think that a lot of people, like I said, I think a lot of people kind of knew that he was not going to walk out as IC champion. So you get a Raquel Rodriguez Vignette. And one of the things I did like about this was how she was basically talking about the history that they have with Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley cost them the tag titles. About how she took out Liv Morgan and stuff like that. So I did like the fact that she did speak Spanish in this, but I'm sorry, it's just really hard to take Raquel Rodriguez seriously, and I'll get into that right now because it ties into this match. So you get Damage Control versus Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. This match ends in DQ because Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend attack Io Sky and and it seems like, again, probably set up a match there between them. That's what I think. But anywho, what happens at the end is that Liv and Raquel enter to confront Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, and Rhea Ripley comes out. She headbutts Raquel, but this is why I cannot take Raquel seriously. Like, they're trying to make her this badass, but explain to me how Rhea Ripley constantly gets the upper hand on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. There is no reason why Rhea Ripley should have gotten rid of Raquel and put Liv Morgan in the prison trap. I gave my thoughts at the beginning, but just to recap real quick, wish her well. Wish her well. I'm gonna miss Samantha Irving's announcing. I think she thought she was really great at ring announcer. I really like her custom Chelsea Green, the way she would customize Chelsea Green's name. So it's definitely she's definitely gonna be missed. But Lady Garcia's back. Jacob Fatu versus Bron Breakker. I could definitely see that happening somewhere down the road. So not only did she put Liv Morgan in the Prism Trap, she also manages to put Dominic in the Prism Trap. And it's really someone explained to me how Rhea Ripley constantly gets the upper hand on them when there's two of them 2 and only 1 of her. How is that possible? Like, don't get me wrong, I like Rhea Ripley, but her booking, how she's so indestructible, like, this new Judgment Day is supposed to be unstoppable, right? They're not. Like, someone please explain that to me, how she constantly gets the upper hand. There's 2 of them. There was no reason why Rhea Ripley should even be able to put Liv Morgan in that prism trap. Really. Raquel Rodriguez should have handled Rhea Ripley, and it's really hard for me to take Raquel Rodriguez seriously as a bodyguard when Rhea Ripley is able to take her out so easily. Seriously. I just don't understand. I guess they're like too busy protecting Rhea that it's just making this feud like tiring. I'm so over this feud. Just give Rhea back the belt so we can move on. Oh, and the fact that at the end, after Liv and Raquel save Dom from Rhea, they walk away. Like, there's 2 of them, for Christ's sakes. Go in there and kick Rhea's ass. Seriously. Just does not make sense to me at all. Speaking of Judgment Day, we had a Judgment Day segment here. And again, here, Finn Balor is worried about Damian Priest going after the world title. And it seems like they're going to kick Carlito out of the group because Raquel Rodriguez brings up the fact of what does Carlito even do for Judgment Day? What does he do for Judgment Day? Carlito says that he brings the cool factor to Judgment Day and he's a fixer. And he's going to go talk to Adam Pearce. So I definitely do think he's going to get the boot because when he left, everybody was just kind of looking at him like, with this face. So I think it's his time in Judgment Day is coming to an end soon. So at the World Tag Team Championship #1 Contenders Tournament match, it's the LWO in the form of Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio versus American Made, or the Creeds. And while I thought this was a decent match, I was really surprised that the LWO got the win here. Dragon Lee pinned Julius. Now, while I am happy that Dragon Lee did get the win, I'm really surprised that American Made lost here. I kind of feel like, okay, they lost their feud with the Wyatt Six, and now they're just kind of going, whoop. They just kind of not. I'm not saying that they're brave, but I just feel like they don't have any momentum now. Like, you split up Chad Gable from Alpha Academy, where he had this momentum as a heel, and now he's just kind of like, there. I feel like, I definitely do think that they need to do more with American Made. Really turn this group into a freaking, like, a threat. Like, freaking badass. Have Ivy Nile destroy Liv Morgan. Have the Creeds win the tag titles. Have Chad Gable, win the IC title. But, no, this group has got to get serious. They definitely have potential. But, it's going to be, we're going to have to see how much they get both up here. So, Adam Pearce is seen talking to Damage Control about Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. And he's going to talk to other GMs and handle the situation. Like I said, maybe we might see a match between them. So I wonder if this means that Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend are permanently getting called up to the main roster and they're going to probably be separated from Metaphor. I wonder. Because they keep making appearances here. And they actually held their own against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. So we'll see. But anywho, Carlito tells Pearce that he thinks Dom should be Gunther's opponent. And this gets a laugh out of Adam Pearce because he thinks it's hilarious. But Pearce basically tells Carlito that Dom might get an opportunity if he beats a former world champion, which I think it's going to be Damian Priest. I think it's pretty obvious that former world champion that Dom has to beat is going to be Damian Priest. And you know what's going to happen? Same thing that keeps happening. Damian Priest is probably going to beat Dom unless maybe Finn Balor gets involved and costs him that match. But still, I'm just so sick of this, tired of this Judgment Day versus Terror Twins feud. Terror Twins got the better of Judgment Day. I don't understand why we're still not moving on from this feud here. Seriously. So you get a Bron Breakker interview, and I like the fact that he didn't come here for cheesecake because, they were in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia cheesecake. I thought that was hilarious. But basically to win back his IC title. And he does bring up the fact that Jey isn't focused and distracted with family drama. It kind of does seem like that. I mean, then again, you could make the argument that Jey brought it on himself. He went and threatened Jacob fought too, which wasn't a smart idea. But like I said, I think it was pretty obvious Bron Breakker was going to regain the title. And I just feel so bad for Jey because he split from the Bloodline. He won the tag titles with Cody. But aside from that, he was pretty much losing all his main events. And the one time that he went singles gold, he only held it for a couple, 28 days, I think it was. I really wish they could have done more with Jey Uso in the main event. He should have won the singles gold from the moment he split from the Bloodline, but that didn't happen. And it just sucks that his title reign came to an end so quickly because they're building towards Survivor Series and an eventual reunion of Jimmy and Jey. But like I said, I really wish they could have done so much more with Jey in the main event. I mean, his nickname was Main Event Jey Uso. Yeah, he was constantly losing, and he hadn't won singles gold. It took him a while, but at least he won. And last but certainly not least, we have a Gunther interview. And he's just talking about Cody and the invitation that Cody gave him. Remember on SmackDown, Cody Rhodes did invite Gunther to SmackDown. And Damian Priest interrupts and basically tells him he's going to earn another shot at Gunther. And he's going to be pretty much waiting for Gunther after Crown Jewel. So I feel like they're going to use that to kind of give Finn Balor a reason to get another match with Damian Priest. Because I feel I could definitely see Finn Balor costing Damian Priest an opportunity at the world title, which will lead to another match between them. Which really, if you're going to go that route, you should have just had Finn Balor beat Damian Priest at Bad Blood. But what do I know, right? All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and end right there because I did talk about the main event. So overall, tonight's Raw was just okay. I did like the whole Seth Rollins, Bronson, Reed stuff. I did like the main event with Jey Uso and Bron Breakker. I disliked the whole segment with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan just because, again, I just can't take Judgment Day and seriously because they keep getting outnumbered by Rhea Ripley. How? I don't know. But aside from that, pretty much the best thing on tonight's show was the brawl between Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed. So on a scale from a 1 to a Sean Spears perfect 10, I'd say this is maybe I'd say this is a 6. I feel like some interesting things happened. The matches were decent, but I'm just not a huge fan of that whole Judgment Day Rhea Ripley thing. All right, with that being said, that concludes this review. I'm not going to be reviewing Friday Night SmackDown because I am going to go to Detroit for Bound for Glory. I'll remind you guys as the week goes on. But thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or this video. And I will see you guys Wednesday after AEW Dynamite. Bye.